2023 kind of felt like the year of lo-fi, the year of lo-fi pedals. A weird form of nostalgia or postmodernism of tone that kind of actually just makes you sound bad. But truth be told, I totally bought into it. Two of my favourite pedals that I got last year were both lo-fi pedals, so I'm one to talk. But I started to see that term lo-fi crop up quite a lot, and maybe it came up on products that maybe didn't really deserve to have that name. In my opinion, adding lo-fi to the name of some of those pedals, I can think of a couple, maybe it was just a bit of an excuse. Maybe they designed a pedal that was not exactly low fidelity, but just a little bit bad. And then stick lo-fi in the name and suddenly it's cool and quirky. Maybe I'm bang out of line there, but I don't know. On with the story. That's kind of how I felt before I played or heard the BB03 from Buzzing Bugs audio devices. Buzzing Bugs is a really cool, reasonably new, small pedal builder from here in the UK. Dan at Buzzing Bugs Effects has been making pedals for years, I think, but only recently, last year, he kind of put a name to them and brought out a really cool but small range of pedals. The BB03 Lo-Fi Chorus being the third. So as I said, before even hearing this pedal, I saw that it had lo-fi in the name and I was kind of skeptical. I was like, well, is this actually going to be a good pedal, or is it gonna deserve to have that name lo-fi? And if I'm completely honest, once I started playing it, it did take me a little longer than it normally would have to have that light bulb moment with this pedal. But the light bulb moment did come, and it shone really brightly when I started to record with this pedal and write ideas with this pedal instead of just jamming and fiddling with some knobs. If you like this video and anything else that's coming out on the channel at the moment, please hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment or a like. It gives me quite a lot of confidence to go out and make bigger and better videos. So the BB03 Lo-Fi Chorus combines a few different effects to create one cohesive sound. It combines a chorus vibrato with a weird reflecty diffused delay slapback roomy sound, and then with a bit of aging thrown in there, a bit of random detuning. Pretty wild. All of that sounds like it can come together to create, you know, absolutely lo-fi tones. But I think before we kind of hear it all together, let's break it down into sections. Depth and time, pretty self-explanatory. Control the depth and time of the oscillation of the vibrato. However, interestingly enough, the time knob sort of works in reverse. As you turn it up, the speed of the vibrato slows down. I guess that's more similar to maybe like a delay pedal. As you turn up the time, the time increases. So immediately you have to sort of approach this pedal differently, and it puts your mind in a different place, which I think when it comes to it actually plays in the pedal's favour. The mix knob on the bottom left combines the guitar's clean signal to the affected tone, so you can go from full vibrato to more chorusy tones. So I guess you could say pretty tame so far, so let's crank it up and have a look at that room knob. And this is kind of where the quirkiness of this pedal kind of comes in. Increasing the room knob increases the amount of clipped echo or slapback in the tone, giving you this weird, springy, splashy, roomy reverb sort of sound. It feels kind of odd under the fingers at first, but once you start to play with it, it's like nothing else. It's really, really weird, but cool as well. Completely maxed out, the room knob just feels like it's just on the edge of completely collapsing in on itself, and I like how it's sort of tamed back from there, because any further and you would lose control of the pedal. So I think that's really tastefully done, and I would say this room knob is probably my favourite thing on the whole pedal. Finally, there's the age knob, and this is where I think the pedal gets its lo-fi name from. This is where the lo-fi comes in. Interestingly enough though, it's not necessarily an EQ thing, which is what we might expect on other lo-fi pedals. It really drastically changes the EQ. That's not what this pedal does. It's more altering and shifting the oscillation of the vibrato. In fact, it might even be adding a second detune vibrato in there at more random intervals. That's how it sort of creates that warped vinyl or, you know, worn out tape sound. Turning it up, the more wayward and random the modulation gets. Think that this might be the lo-fi pedal for people who haven't found the lo-fi pedal that they like, or don't even like the lo-fi at all. And I think that's because the pedal doesn't necessarily touch the EQ at all. It's not shelving off a load of low end and high end. Your tone is your tone, and then it just adds this weird modulation. And this pedal nails that. I think it's really cool. It definitely deserves to wear the name lo-fi. Oh, and one more thing. It glows in the dark.